Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining once again. Please subscribe, hit that bell icon. Lets you know anytime I upload. Anyways, good morning, buenos dias, guten morgen, and ohayo gozaimasu. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about yandere. Well, specifically, what I mean by that is no. Anybody who knows Yandere Simulator, no, not that.
Not the
It's
game.
not the game exactly. We're more of talking about girl or woman, whatever you want to call her, from what is
Japan.
it? Japan. Yeah, Yuka Takaoka. And first of all, I definitely want to give credit to this guy, Lethal Vanity, on Reddit. I think it's like r/true crime. This person did a lot of solid research and uploaded it on there on Reddit, and that's it's really cool. I appreciate people who are willing to actually try to get as many facts as possible and actually illustrate it
Straight
properly.
Facts. Yep.
Yeah. So today I'm with my wife Lucy, and she just I saw a TikTok where this lady basically, in a way, is slandering this woman. I mean, to be honest, I had no idea, like this event ever happened.
It happened back in 2019.
Yeah, so
but her name is finally resurfacing again for, I guess you can say, the cancel culture, because people are naming her a queen for being like the first yandere. We'll get in more into detail on what a yandere means, because it's actually a medical term used in Japan.
yeah, and it's from the research I saw that this man did, but I think you already knew about it. You already knew kind of what the yandere meant, because I know you did your own research as well. But it's like definitely basically two different words.
Yes, it's two different words.
Two different words into one. Or is it? Because we're looking at the article right now. Yeah, well, I definitely have the article open.
Keep
Okay.
going up.
Oh yeah, it is up. Yeah, it is further up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, because from this man again, I'm referencing.
He basically got the actual definition.
Yeah, he actually got the actual definition. So the term yandere, term for a person initially very loving and kind, and then before their love becomes into destructive energy. And I want to try to paraphrase as much, because again, I'm not entirely sure if this is the actual dictionary definition translated, or if this is his own words, and I don't want to be again just copying and pasting what he said. But anyways, yeah, just right here it says that it comes from two Japanese words, yanderu, a mental or emotional illness, and deredere, to display affection. So I know for the most part, I think people who look at it from the surface, especially like with YouTube culture, they'll if you look up yandere on YouTube, I think the first thing that might come up is Yandere Simulator, and they'll be like, oh, so what people will look at it without looking at the timestamps is basically they'll think of it, oh, this person's trying to mimic a Yandere Simulator, and
mimic a schoolgirl character. Because I guess that's what people from the outside world or whatever, they see what a yandere is. It's a crazy schoolgirl with a crush on someone, senpai.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, even that Yandere Simulator basically, they
slandered it.
Well, in a way they slandered it, but in a way they more of because Yandere, it's been around. The Yandere Simulator has been around since I think 2014, 2015. Because I remember when we first met, we hung out with Alex. That he was, or one of the two of you were like watching the videos that guy Jay does. Mm-hmm. But anyways, it's definitely even the game is like Yandere. Obviously, the character is named as Yandere just because it makes sense. Again, that's her character type. She has an obsession over a guy, and it's obviously her senpai. But anyways, it's even that even that the word Yandere gets characterized in that character. But again, no, this is
Yandere Simulator was developed in April of 2014.
Okay, 2014. Yeah. So it was definitely many years before this event that happened. But anyways, it's just addressing the fact that there's this TikToker who just found out about some of this info, and probably was just, kind of scrolling through their feeds or whatever, is to talk about. And this person didn't even bother to do any research. They basically just looked at the surface of it and started immediately judging what they thought the situation might have been. So I think it's stupid. This white female Caucasian female didn't even bother to do research into it. Hey, let me see what's really going on here. Instead, she just immediately assumes and starts like my wife said, this cancel culture. Or I mean, you know what? I'm talking to you, so it's not like I'm exactly talking forward to anybody right now. But it's like she literally just decides to immediately say some shit, slander something. She has some amount of followers, and obviously people they scroll through TikTok and they just look at something usually on the surface. They don't do the research themselves, which is irritating.
It's basically like kind of what I did. I woke up this morning and I pulled out my phone to see my messages on TikTok, and the first video that pops up on my For You page is this video, and I'm watching it and I'm like, I remember hearing the story completely different. And she's like, oh, you can look up at the graphic images on Google. Well, clearly she had some images on her video from this girl, of this girl. And it's like, if you're able to Google an image, I'm pretty sure you can click on the first 4 articles that pop up on Google with the actual information on there, which she clearly didn't do.
We both know a lot of, like, the majority of people, they don't actually do the research. They usually just look at it very fast and they take it as, absolute truth. Like, for example, even with that guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, a lot of people, anytime he will say a theory, they usually take it as absolute truth because he's a reputable guy. I mean, this girl is obviously a reputable person to people that view her as a reputable person, even though she's not, just because she's a popular TikToker. And so obviously people that follow her are gonna be like, oh wow, I really like the TikToks that she does, or and usually I feel like the people that are actually watching her are I'm not trying to isolate anybody, but they're basically, household mom and dads that don't really get out there as much. They usually just stay, secluded in the house, and they don't really, go out and take real information. For example, I mean, even during this time, just even for the governor here in Oregon, I mean, she said so many weird things about what's going on in downtown Portland. And it's like, how can you say all these things if you've never been up front and actually been able to witness what's going on? It's like, in a way, you can't really speak, third person about these things if you don't know, what's going on. I took the liberty in my time to actually go down there and, check it out, see what's happening, actually observe. And I'm like, well, it's actually not as bad as the news reporters say it is. I mean, sure, there were definitely scruffles, but it's not that bad. So in a way, it's ridiculous when people like this on TikTok, they over exaggerate the truth, or they put their own narrative on it, they skew it, and because people believe them, or they want to believe them, or they just
they just don't want to do the research.
Yeah, they don't do the research
They're just
themselves.
like, oh wow, that's true, and then X and Y, obviously. But, basically what I saw in the video, we'll give out more details about, exactly what happened in her storyline of, what is it, Yakatu? No.
I think so.
Yuka. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Yuka. Her
Takaoka?
Her actual
Yuka
story.
Takaoka. Yeah.
But basically in the TikTok, this girl's like, oh, you see this person has a picture of Yuka. And it's like, yeah, so she basically is like a real life yandere, and she killed her boyfriend. Hence the word kill, because
not true, yeah.
Her boyfriend actually survived.
Yeah.
He was critical in the hospital for a few months after the incident happened. And she basically goes on to say, oh yeah, she got off scot-free because she's cute. That's not true either. She got scot-free, she didn't go to jail because the only witness and person that was there was her boyfriend, and he didn't want to press charges against her because he has no resentment for her.
Yeah, which is weird too, because obviously, again, the jail system in Japan and in different countries is completely polar opposite of what it is here in the U.S.
Yeah, that's also another thing.
I mean,
people should learn that it's not everything. It's exactly how it is in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, there's I forgot which country it is, but I think I saw it in one of Anthony Bourdain's episodes. Anyways, there's a country, I think in Eastern Europe, that actually has inmates, rehabilitate, like literally rehabilitate, and they're outside, they're not in a prison. Although I think they are in an kind of like on an island type little area where it can only be them. But anyways, they give them tools. They all have hatchets and whatever. So I mean, to be honest, they can all go free range and kill each other, but they don't, because they're not put in a cage. They're actually living like if they were living. But this is more of like an isolated, I guess, camp in a way. So I mean, at least they get to be outside, breathe in fresh air. Wake up in the morning with coffee. They even have coffee. They have like actual food. They have eggs. I think they have the chicken as well. So they can make their own food, and I think harvest their own things as well. But anyways, again, the prison systems here, obviously in the United States, are really fucked up. I mean, the way I see it, it's just a big business. The more people you get jailed, the more money, obviously the people running the prisons, they get. So obviously, the U.S. is definitely a money-driven society. It's a free market, and it's a capitalist economy. So again, it's definitely business. Just like even the medical industry here is also a fucking business.
Anyways,
but
you should never read something and then all of a sudden think that the justice system, how it is in the U.S., is the same as in any other country, which is not. Everything goes in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S., yeah, exactly. We definitely know how the U.S. handles
Obviously,
things.
if she was in the U.S. and did this, she would be in jail for X amount of time, whatever. The story is, this happened in Japan, okay? And the guy, her boyfriend that got stabbed, fortunately survived, and he didn't want to press any charges against her because he has resentment and he understood why it happened.
He had no resentments, exactly. There was no resentments. There was nothing to... He didn't have any grudge. Basically, he was like, all right, well...
He forgave her.
And that's actually a beautiful way to live. That's an awesome way to live. It's like, wow, he actually forgave her? Holy crap, this lady was literally stabbed him, I think in this article I read that he said the really unfortunate part about all this is that he can't drink alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
Because his liver got destroyed, basically.
Yeah.
And so his liver can't operate how a regular person would. So I think that's the only misfortune he actually listed on because I think he was interviewed in Japan by Shukan, I think it was. I don't remember. I think it was like called Shukan. That was like the this is lower on the bottom of the article. Anyways, again, he didn't have resentments towards her, and I think it's also silly. She didn't get scot-free, from what I understand. It wasn't like just because she's cute. I mean, obviously there's going to be...
Yeah, that was not the reason.
Obviously there's going to be fanboys like obsessing over her because obviously there's always... Let's
talk about the Jeffrey Dahmer situation.
Yeah, there's
he had
fangirls.
so many fangirls, people sending him letters in jail and all this crap.
Holy crap, and that guy was definitely messed up. Now that guy, he murdered people out of joy.
Murdered someone.
Out of joy. Mutilated them. And that was,
and tried making a shrine out of their skulls and bones.
And so that is a demented mind right there. This lady, Yuka, obviously, she's definitely carrying some mental illnesses. That's like completely apparent. Because it was more of she was trying to kill him because she thought that she would, she also mentioned that she was going to immediately kill herself afterwards.
Yep.
But she did it more of because she...
It was in a jealous rage because she saw a picture of her boyfriend with another woman. And so her rationalization that came to mind was, you know what, to be together, to be with him, like she wrote down as the, basically she wanted to kill him. And after she knew he was gone, she was going to kill herself so that they could be together in the afterlife. Yeah. That was her...
So in a way...
her mind, that made sense.
In a way, it was kind of like a Romeo and Juliet, although obviously when it came to Romeo being poisoned, it wasn't, he wasn't poisoned by Juliet. Yeah. So, it's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet thing, but not really. It's more along the lines. Again, I think jealousy has no place in a relationship. I think it's extremely toxic. I know, for example, even for us, it's been a toxic thing whenever jealousy, would come about. I know in the first year I was, we were together, I was a bit insecure I know 100% I was a little insecure. I also, had, I guess you could say, lack of trust. And yeah, jealousy like definitely was there,
it plays a role in
a negative, a very negative role.
A lot of relationships, and I can't just say, oh, I've never been jealous. No, I've been jealous. I've been jealous of Lalo over here, his cousin.
Yeah,
obviously that's family. But again, when someone gets jealous, there's no rationality in that. It's very hard to explain, but a lot of people can actually agree and be like, yeah, you don't have any rational thoughts going through you. All you can think about is, this fucker's cheating on me. This guy's gonna leave me. And if you really love this person, you try to do anything for them. And thinking back to it, I acted a lot, and where my brother would say that I'm basically like a yandere, because again, it's like a mental illness. It's, you have so much affection for them, but at the same time there's like a slight of like anger to it.
It's definitely a toxic affection.
Yes.
Like in all honesty, like the way I would see it is more of a infatuation rather than actual love. Because when there's love between two people, a couple, again, even then they don't have to be in a like actual relationship. But if there's love, there's trust, and there's definitely there's no insecurities. There, that the other person, again, if you guys both agreed upon being faithful to one another, then again, it's kind of inherently there. It's where there's complete and absolute trust. You just trust the other person. The insecurities aren't there. The jealousy and envy, they're not there. And clearly, that wasn't the situation with Yuka.
What he's describing is almost to a point sounds like a perfect relationship, when we all know that doesn't really exist, because you can never know what the other person went through, as in like they've probably gotten cheated on plenty of times. They've gotten their trust destroyed to the point where their new relationship, you just never know. You never know. But besides that, going back to the Yuka situation, just basically seeing all these like teenagers not doing the research, I'm gonna say, because it's honestly very frustrating on how they're just mindlessly just trying to cancel her for like no reason. This happened a few years back now, in 2019, May 2019. Yep, that's when it happened. And they're basically just spreading lies. Just, she got off scot-free because she's cute. Basically she killed him when he's alive. He was never killed. Yeah, he was stabbed. There's pictures of it and everything on the internet, but he didn't die. And the only person that could press charges and actually, convict her to jail was her boyfriend, and he didn't. And I guess that's that's a Japanese thing where that's how their judicial system runs. Obviously, the judge can't really condemn her unless, the boyfriend. I'm sure if the boyfriend actually did pass away, then maybe that'd be different. There'd be a different story. Situation,
yeah, that'd be a different situation. Maybe she would be incarcerated, but because the boyfriend, again, he didn't have a grudge against her. He didn't. He forgave her. He moved on past it. Yeah. And at this point, I mean, I can only assume, if anything, there's like some kind of restraining order. I'm assuming. This is an assumption. This isn't.
Yeah,
this isn't
we don't know about that.
I have no idea. But I'm assuming, again, hopefully. Hopefully she does get rehabilitated. Hopefully she's able to be talked to, and actually, somebody being able to work with her, because I think this is definitely unfortunate when people who are suffering through, mental issues, especially with like attachments. Some people, clearly can't handle, losing somebody in their life. And whether that might be in the relationship like this, I know we've had situations in our life where they've gotten pretty bad. Where I know there was moments where I was scared of you as well, because there were certain, exactly like the little example you gave earlier, that that day we were hanging out with my cousin, and she's an attractive person, but again, it's my cousin. It's like, again, it's like...
And it goes down to it, like, it's more of like a self-esteem issue as well. I suffer a lot from it, and, she was attractive, and then you look at me and you're just like, at the same time,
you're attractive too. I mean, people have definitely said you're really cute, And but at the same time, again, it's like a lot of the times. Even the other day, my dad called me really handsome, and I was like, really? I personally don't see it. I don't see it. And I know Angie has told me, like when we're out and about sometimes that girls will look at me and I'm like, really? Why? I don't see that. I don't get it.
And then you see why I get jealous. I'm just saying.
But still, even then, again, jealousy. Obviously, it's gonna be there in new relationships and in older relationships, just because, again, it's more of like our insecurities, really.
It really is,
and it really is just the insecurities. Because again, it's not that I'm trying to describe a perfect relationship. I think there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. I think there's just relationships where you mutually agree. They
just work.
Yeah, where you mutually and they work exactly. But I've never believed in perfect relationships. I've never believed in fairy tale type relationships where there's no problems at all. I mean, I think conflict and things that we can grow from are always going to be there. And at the same time, I'm pretty grateful that we've even been able to last as long. I mean, for us, it's about to be 7 years in August that we've been together, and. That's kind of surprising. Time does fly. There was definitely a lot of hard moments, but really in a way, those challenging moments,
just made us stronger.
Helped us make us stronger, to an extent, because obviously, there were other moments, a month or 2-3 months later down the road where it's like, holy crap, again, another test, another obstacle, Yeah. And I mean, again, a lot of those things are kind of jealousy. I know at first when I first was with Angie in the first year, I would get jealous just because she was like, oh, Brad Pitt's so hot, or stuff like that. It's like right now where I am right now in my mental zone, I'm like, I don't care. That's fine if you think a person's attractive. I don't care
he would get jealous.
Yeah, I know. He would
get really mad.
It was crazy.
And it's like in my mind, I'm like, he's a celebrity. It's not like the next week I can get with him.
Yeah, and it was just absurd for me to think that way, because even nowadays, now I'm saying, oh wow, she's really attractive, again, celebrities, or let's say an anime character,
character,
or a video game character, and sometimes every now and again I can't tell if you're actually getting jealous or if you're just like, what the hell.
Well, it's kind of more, it just bothers me just because, you used to give me so much crap for it, and...
No, and I didn't.
And now he does it all the time.
Oh, and I'm not doing it out of spite. I'm not doing it to get back at her. It's just more of, just, I at this point, I got past that. I got past my own insecurities. I got past the jealousy and the envy, and all those combined together, especially with somebody who's mentally unstable, it's not a good thing. It can get toxic to a point where people will harm each other. I mean, to take for example what happened here in the U.S., the one that went really public and got really popular, the one that had a Netflix special. I forgot what it was called. I think the Murder Next Door or something like that. My neighbor in the Murder Next Door, the guy that killed his wife and two daughters, that was painful, because I mean, obviously the wife was jealous. She got jealous and she was getting ready to leave, and I think the guy was just really frustrated at a point. I have no idea what was going on.
The guy was cheating on her.
No, he was
going to leave her for this new girl,
yeah.
And the wife already knew. The wife was like, well, I tried making this relationship work and it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, and she was getting ready to just pack her stuff and her two daughters and go, because at the same time she was also pregnant with another kid, and she was doing all she could to fix the relationship, to make it work, but he just didn't want to do anything. He's just like, no, I'm done.
He was fed up.
He wants to just go with somebody else.
And that's the tough thing, people say a lot of the times, especially outside observers, they say all the time, it's like, hey, just leave her. But it's tough to do that, I used to think that was easy as well. I used to think it's like, oh, what is this idiot, doing with her? Or, what is she doing with, this guy? It's like, just leave, just split apart. But it's not that fucking easy.
It's not.
It's not. It's crazy, It's
like a mental rope on your brain where you can't fathom the idea of not being with this person.
or it's just like difficult. Maybe even your ideas or whatever you think in your head, it might play a role into just not being able to. It's like, but like let's say, well, we already have investments together. We have our home. We have some equity. We have some equities. Yeah, we have kids. It's like, how am I gonna do this?
It can't just be like a high school relationship where you're just like, it's over, and you guys take your own ways.
Yeah.
No, you have a lot of stuff built between you two, and especially if there's kids involved, that just makes it a lot harder because you need to think about what's right for the kid.
I think what makes it easy for like high school relationships to end pretty well, not all of them end pretty well, but what makes it easy to end is because there's a lot of people around you. Yeah. So it's just easier.
You have your friends.
It's easier. You have the support system basically. Yeah. So, and I'm not saying everybody has a support system. I know there's some a lot of like secluded people out in high school. I know I was definitely more of less of a. I was definitely not a social butterfly, and so
So he says.
I wasn't. Anyways,
back to Yuka.
Anyways, yeah, back to Yuka. I mean, again, you're not in high school. You're out there in the real world. You're an adult, and from what what this TikToker was saying was that she was stalking this guy. Yeah. When that's not true.
No, they were dating for a while. They were even living with each other.
I think, but from what I read from the article, they had only been living with each other for like a few days or like barely a week.
Something like that. Just recently they started living together, but they were dating for a while before that.
I think that's a tough thing to do because I know even with us, I think we moved in together. I think like 2 months into the relationship, which was not a good idea. I don't think it should have.
We're not the only ones.
Yeah, we're not.
So don't judge us.
No, we're not the only ones, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people actually.
Some people do it within the week.
Within the week, within the first day. Some people do that. We were
watching that show, 90 Day Fiance, and I mean they get engaged and try to move in together within like the month that they meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is again, like some people somehow make it work, and again, if in the future,
if it's your cup of tea, then it's your cup of tea.
Right, and like if they tell it in the future, 20 years later, it's like, oh wow, you guys have been together for 25 years, and you guys seem like you've been really great. Well, obviously they can only tell what's happened behind closed doors, but even then, again, it's just like sometimes you just have to leave people to make their own decisions. I personally think yes, we should have waited longer to really get to know each other before we actually moved in. There should have probably been less jealousy, less insecurities, but again, it's our kind of own story, so it is what it is. It happened the way it needed to happen. I really don't believe in fate or destiny. I think we kind of make our own destiny, to be quite honest. In a way, the thing I'm about to say is going to contradict what I just said, because in a way it almost is like the atoms and molecules around us are fabricated to go in a certain lineage. So, in a way, if you want to perceive that as destiny or, a fate, then it can be, but that does, I wouldn't say that's exactly the same thing. But anyways, again, they were only, living with each other, I think for what it was like a few days or, barely a week. It had definitely not been longer than a month that they had been living with each other. Not at all. It was very soon when it happened. I know earlier you were telling me that you feel like you can understand what she was going through because you've seen that red before, where you've like
I've definitely seen the red, and I've definitely gotten to the point in I guess in my rage where I've blacked out completely, and I'll wake up and all of a sudden Lalo's telling me that I did such thing or said things, and I have absolutely no recollection of it ever happening. Yeah. It's talking to my doctor, it's actually a true thing, people black out. If your emotion is strong enough, it happens. And that's something I'm working to get fixed. And back to the Yuka situation, in the article it actually says that people made a GoFundMe for her
but it got taken down.
It got taken down, yeah, after 69 contributors, and it got to like $3,840. But it was to get her to get
rehabilitated. Yeah. So I think to be honest, it was a good thing. I wouldn't say it was like fans of her, because again, there are going to be fans of her. Again,
obviously, there's
really, we just said the example. There are fangirls, that get wet over Jeffrey Dahmer.
Definitely.
And so
there's people that like,
just because he's American, people can do that, and it's like kind of like, oh,
and
whatever.
Just because he's a man too.
Yeah, and just because he's a man, and this, or maybe it's because right now K-pop, is like very popular.
So it's like Asian culture.
Yeah, so everything. Just because they're Asian, whatever.
But
or just because
again,
anime.
She never got out off of it because she was cute. That's something that I want people to fucking know. Because
to leave that alone.
Yeah, because
exactly.
it's like
leave that alone.
She might be a female, and sure, she
might be attractive.
She might be attractive, but she didn't get off because she was cute. She basically got off because her boyfriend was like, no, I don't want to press charges on her.
Yeah, again, it is them. It's them. It's about them. It's not. Yeah. I know there's definitely people that want to get involved in this story, but even then, like this white Caucasian TikToker, like she's getting like barely the surface of the story. I don't know.
Not even with all her false information.
Exactly. Yeah, again, like that's what I'm saying. Barely even the surface. She's like not even scratching through the actual like raw information. She just saw what you told me earlier. She like just saw a news article or whatever, like probably skimmed it real quick and then started deciding like, oh, you know what? I'm passionate about this, so I'm gonna make a damn TikTok. And this idiot.
Her first TikTok she made 17 hours ago, on Wednesday the 24th. She said, when were y'all going to tell me a real life yandere got off scot-free because she's cute? Quotations.
Quote unquote.
And has an account on here. Okay, her TikTok account was made before the incident ever happened, and she stopped uploading
in 2019, you said, right?
Yeah, in 2019, I think before the incident happened. So
again, this is cancel culture.
This is cancel culture written all over it. Like if it was a person, it would have it printed on their forehead, because it's just like she made this TikTok. She has 4,500 likes on it. People started going crazy. And then 11 hours on Wednesday the 24th, she posted kind of like what her like short summary of the whole situation that happened, when about 80% of the information
I wouldn't even call it a summary. It's like, it can't be a summary, because exactly like you said, like 90% of her information is absolutely wrong. The only thing she got right is the name, picture, the name of the picture. That's it.
Yeah. And it's like, I even tried commenting on it. She took down one of my comments. One of my comments still is kind of up. I don't really know if it's still up, but I even posted the link to the Reddit post with all the actual information, and we'll put that in the description too if you want to read it.
Yeah, do some homework, you wench.
And it's like, some people also tried commenting and saying, you've gotten all the information wrong, and she's taken all those down. She's only praising the people that are like, trying to ridicule the people that are with her. No, that she's praising the people that are, people, why are they romanticizing this girl and stuff like that. She's praising those people that are leaving comments like that. It's like, whoever likes her is, crazy as hell. And it's like,
it's not the fact that for me, it's not the fact that like I admire Yuka. I had really no idea what this was about until today, like a few hours ago. I think it's more of like this Caucasian TikToker is just putting something out there that I think she's more of an opportunist, and so she was able to just glance at an article or something like that, like literally glance at. She saw a picture and she saw the probably the article's title. That's it. And from
Japanese girl kills boyfriend,
and then she probably went from there, and she's like, "Oh, good, they one of these J-pop type people, or all these, one of these J cultures. Oh, freaking anime! I hate anime. She might be one of those people, because I've worked with people like that. They're like, they like just see it on the surface. They don't understand that it's another culture, and just because you're one type of culture,
because the otaku culture is very big now, and it's gotten very big within this last year, where to the point that everybody and their moms are all about anime. Yeah. It's honestly very frustrating.
I think the frustrating part about it is the fact that we, grew up on anime. Like, because obviously, Pokemon was anime, Dragon Ball Z is anime as well. Oh,
wait, don't even get me started. Someone actually posted I think Stephanie had Twitter link of some guy making fun of, like, people that supposedly, air quotes, using Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all those stuff, and saying that that's not anime, saying that those are cartoons.
That's fucking
anime. And if
anime,
you grew
you
up
idiot.
on those, then you didn't grow up on anime, which is very stupid because they are considered anime.
It's absolutely anime.
And
absolutely
now they're
anime.
those people are trying to hate on the people who grew up with it.
Astro Boy, anime. There's a lot of cartoons
Like One Piece.
There's
is
a lot
anime.
there's a lot of quote unquote cartoons that were around in the 80s that are actually anime, but because it was supposed to be
It wasn't
it's supposed
big
to be again
as an otaku thing.
Come on, it's like again,
they're considered a cartoon.
The U.S. just got out of bombing Hiroshima with in Japan, and Japan was like an enemy an enemy in World War II, and obviously they like American society did not want to see anything Japan in the U.S. I mean, come on, they basically put,
so they labeled it as cartoons instead of anime.
Exactly. They to start off to attract the American public, it started off exactly as cartoon, but in Japan it was obviously known as anime. That's what it was. It hasn't been until obviously the more recent years, within the past decade, that anime has definitely been more widely accepted by the general public. I think it's what I was trying to say was that I think it's frustrating. The people that used to hate on anime are loving it because they're like, well, you used to fucking make fun of me for liking anime.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my wife, we've cosplayed before, and I loved it. I loved it so much. People,
it was super fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. It's like, and people make fun of cosplayers, and I'm like, you know what? Go, fuck off, and do your own thing. Don't fucking criticize other people because they feel happy doing something. Like cosplaying again. We were dressed up as Kirito and Asuna from SAO, and people were like just gleed. They wanted to get photos with us.
We were like celebrities,
and it felt fantastic. I think we could have gone really far up there and well known if we would have continued doing it. But again, it's more of these mental instabilities or depressions that caught you off guard.
Yeah.
And because of that, and again, you were again because of your own mental instabilities, you were also with your personal image, you're just like, no, I can't fit this character because blah 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 X, Y, and Z, and it's like, no, Angie, come on, hey, you were having fun with it, but again, it's like
it's very fun, but again, it's like for me, I have like a dark looming cloud that just goes over, and it's like you can't fucking do that stuff. You don't look pretty enough to pull this character off, and and that's me. That's my mental. That's how my brain works. But I'm working on it.
It's definitely unfortunate.
Yeah,
it definitely sucks because I also don't want to criticize other cosplayers because I think that's awesome if somebody like feels comfortable with it.
Seriously, if you like,
it's great.
Like I see a lot of
pretty girls
that take advantage of like obviously how pretty they are to do this, and look at them, they're hella famous on Instagram.
Yeah, obviously,
and at the same time, I see overweight girls and different color skin girls, especially black girls, like doing a white character cosplay, and it's like they can sometimes pull it off too, and it's really cool that they have. And
they definitely get hate. They get hate for sure.
It's definitely cool that they have the self-esteem to actually put themselves out there, knowing that they're going to
get criticized,
most likely get criticized and hate. And it's like, that's something that I can't deal with mentally, and which is why I, there are times where I tell them, it's like, hey, let's cosplay. I want to do it. It's like, I love it. I love being able to embrace this character that I love and, cherish. But again, it's that glooming cloud that just kind of takes over, and it's very hard.
And it sucks. Again, if you're really struggling, I'll definitely link for anybody here in Portland, Oregon, or just even in Vancouver, Washington. Anybody near here, if they they don't have resources to get mental help, and if they don't believe that it's real, it is real, and it really can affect relationships, families. It will tear people apart if they don't have the right support. But I will link it down on the description, Cascadia, and I'll also do there's a website, SMHC. I can't remember exactly the acronym, but it's this one is a national website where it'll get you to local resources. I really do think that we should have more support with just mental health in general, more than we have dentists. I do understand the importance of good dental hygiene and good dental care. Obviously, you eat use your teeth to eat, but at the same time, I think we should put more emphasis on like
Mental
health support. Actual psychologists that don't cost a fucking arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like, well, if I'm gonna be struggling to have to pay for this,
that's just
psychologist,
an added stress.
That's an added stress. Exactly, that's an added stress,
and
people don't understand
deal
that.
with just
People
the
don't
simple
understand
stresses of like day-to-day life. How are you going to be able to deal with
sometimes
like
depression.
trying to figure out how to like pay for this so that you can get help, so that you can feel better? And and that's something that went through my mind, which is why for like the longest time I've never gotten help, because how are we going to pay for it?
I think if we would have had help earlier on, I think we would be in a different zone. But again, we're where we're meant to be, so that I'm totally fine with it. But again, yeah, exactly. If we knew that mental help was very accessible, if we knew that we could afford it, if we knew that X, Y, Z, etc., blah blah blah. But if there were more mental health resources, more acceptance of it,
more vastly like
more available,
just like, hey, there's mental health. Like you see billboards for freaking to go to, what are they called, the dispensaries for fucking pot. You see billboards for that. Where are the billboards for like, hey, this is the number for, suicide hotline or whatever? I had to call suicide hotline. Actually, I had to research it.
Well,
and
it
took me so long to find that number.
Also, people look at it a negative way, or sometimes movies skew it as a negative thing.
They skew it as a negative thing.
Sometimes they skew it as like, oh, you're going to be put in a straitjacket, and you're going to be put in a, in a foam room.
Yeah.
So again,
and that's completely untrue.
Yeah,
saying from someone who's actually been in a hospital twice, they're actually very accommodating to what you need, and they're always there to help you, which is why these people study hard to be nurses for special things like, for mental health. They can be getting shit thrown at them, and they're still going to be the kindest fucking people lending a hand to you to be able to get so much help. And
even those people need mental health too, because like, sometimes they deal with cases that are just like, to be honest, a bit much. There's some people that are too far gone, that won't help them. But
at the same time, we also have to put a good view on it, because the last time that I was
so many negative connotations to it. There's so many negative connotations to mental health.
And at the same time, a lot of people do take advantage of it. Like, there's these free clinics that are there to help you, but
it's awful. Yeah.
Not trying to shame homeless people or anything, but there are those type of people that are homeless for a living. Like, they choose to be homeless, even though they have so many helping hands out there to be able to have a home and have money for food and stuff. They choose to be homeless. They choose to not work.
Don't get fucking offended. There really are people who choose to be homeless. I think it might be like a small percentage of them,
very small,
like probably like a 3% out of the 100%. But there are people that choose to be there. They want to be there for a reason, to not have responsibilities.
Yeah.
So again, not trying to offend anybody. Oh, the person said that people choose to be homeless. No. They're a very small percentage.
It's a very small percentage,
very tiny percentage.
There are those type of people, and it's like,
like you were telling me when you were in that at Unity, right?
Yes, I was at Unity.
Yeah, you said that there was there's people there just because they wanted to get out of the cult, which is understandable. I get it, but there should be another resource for those kinds of people that just want to get out of the cult, because
and there is those resources, but the thing is that they fill up so fast, because again, it's like there's just so much homeless people out there that it's like they have to put priorities on like women and kids and all this stuff, which is great. Cool, prioritize women and kids.
But again, it's like, I think as a society right now, we're not really wanting to help other people. Again, we're just trying to take advantage of our own agenda. I think for the most part, people look at homelessness as like, oh, let's just get rid of those people, or let's just shove them away in a corner where we don't see them.
Exactly.
And I think that's not the solution. The solution is, hey, there are homeless people. We should acknowledge that, and we should try to help them out. Yes, we got to help each other out. It's like, come on, again, maybe a CEO in a big company or corporation thinks that they got up there all by themselves. No, if you didn't have people buying your fucking product, if you didn't have people supporting your the HR, if you didn't have people supporting X and Y, if you don't have people pushing your product, you would not be there. It does not take one person to build a village. It does take a whole fucking community to build a proper village. So again, I think when it comes to homelessness, when it comes to mental health resources, I think that's something that we should really embed in our minds, that we need to help anybody who needs help. Sometimes a lot of these people won't ask for help. I know for you, for example, you had asked for help before, but then because there was like negative connotations associated with it, or people making fun of you, and that just made it worse, you stop seeking help.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I'm not going to seek help because the same thing's going to happen again. People are going to make fun of me. People are going to ridicule me. People aren't going to help me. Or
the people that I thought that were supposed to support me the most were the ones that were they were ridiculing me the most and scaring me from ever finding help for like the longest time. Don't want to say names or anything, but obviously, if you know me, you know who those people are.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, I have a daughter.
Sorry, Leon.
And for the longest time, they were telling me if I were to
seek mental help,
seek help, yeah,
seek help. If she was to seek help, basically, what she's saying is like there are some people in her life that were telling her, if you seek help, they're going to take your daughter away from you. And I'm like, what kind of bullshit are they feeding your head? It's like, no, that's not true. If you seek help, you'll get help. Especially now, again, a lot of movies, some telenovelas, some Spanish soap operas, they do show that a crazy person will like get locked up or just be and they associate negative connotations with it. So of course, why is somebody going to seek mental health?
And especially in the Latin community, it's like
no existe,
it's
not
all
real.
In your head, you're just making it up for attention.
Depression's not real,
and these are real things that these people actually say to you. Like I lived through it. I'm example number one. I've tried talking to my parents. I tried talking to my cousins and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's just in your head. You'll get over it sooner or later. And it's like, that's not true. It's like, the more that I tried pushing it down, the more I tried to ignore everything that was going on in my head, the more it built up. And once that build-up exploded, that's when the blackouts happened. And then that's when the worst stuff happened.
Yeah, I mean, the bottle overfilled with, so much shit. Again, it's like...
And that was years and years of dealing with it. And people just kept telling me, it's in my head, I'm just doing it for attention. Why would I want to do it for attention?
Yeah, and I thought that was really messed up. I mean, I know for a long time, obviously I still am. I was definitely like your biggest pillar of support. At the same time,
you were also the pillar that I would punch
exactly. So again, I was, as much as I wanted to help her, or I wanted to help you, I couldn't because, well, I could only do so much, and at the same time, it's kind of, in her head, in your head, it might have been like a skewed information because you might have thought I was being biased in a weird way, but which I wasn't. I was always trying to be neutral. Even there was a moment where we split up momentarily, and even then I was still wanting to be a friend to you. I was still trying to be there for you with whatever you needed. We took a little bit of time. We obviously got back together, and even then, again, no matter what, I think you should always be willing to help somebody. So I think I can understand this man that had himself stabbed, because he said, you know what, it's fine. I'm not gonna hold a grudge against her. It happened. I'm still alive. I'm here. That's what's most important to me. So in a way, it's more of like, hey, I have no idea how their lives are. I don't know if he's still like, hey, are you okay? Do you need help?
I don't think I want to dig into it because it's his
exactly.
personal privacy.
It's his personal
her
life.
Personal privacy too. These people should not be trying to go at her and cancel her for like literally something that happened years ago and something that was resolved very quickly. For both of them. Yeah. He's alive. Obviously, sad thing is he can't drink anymore. That's the only resentment that he has. That he can't drink.
To be honest, I think that's the least of anybody. Anybody's worries. Yeah, because even myself, sure, there's times when I drink, but to be honest, I really don't need it. I don't need it. It is there, but I I don't need it. So again, the he can't drink anymore. Oh, well, that's fine. There's other things that he can do. Yeah.
But from the more that we read on the article, they're both receiving mental help, and that's great because she was probably going through a lot, just all on her own. Probably nobody was able to really understand her and support her.
Exactly. She probably had no support system at all.
She probably didn't, and she saw this one image. That rage and that buildup of everything in her head, she exploded. Yeah. And to her, all of that just sounded to her reasonable.
You know what I hate about this is that the people are blaming certain graphic animes.
Yeah.
Because it's probably this anime where people get killed or whatever, that this is why she's like this, because obviously she's in Japan. She's in the prime the heart of like where anime culture is very popular. Although again, I've had Japanese friends and I've had Japanese acquaintances that don't give a shit about anime. So no, not every Japanese person loves anime.
Not everybody is an otaku.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, use the proper terminology.
Otaku, yeah, exactly. Not everybody's an otaku. So again, it's like I also really get pissed off and bothered when there's certain people in the American society that
you're
like,
Asian, you have to be an otaku.
Yeah, or like probably every Japanese person or every Asian knows about anime or whatever. It's like no, truthfully, I've spoken to some Japanese people that really could give.
It's just like here, like like people are like, oh, you're from America, that means you like guns and country music.
You'd be surprised. The great majority of people I know do not care for country music at all. I actually, I'm fine with certain country songs, but again, not all of them. But yeah, again, it's like just because you're American doesn't mean you carry a gun. There's a shit ton of people here trying to fight against guns, which I think is also a lot of those people have misconceptions of it.
Yeah, it's like you can't just put a gun on the table and it's going to shoot everybody around it. No, there has to be a person pulling the trigger. That
person, if they're willing to do that, they're also going through some mental health issues.
Exactly.
They don't have a support system.
We could talk about like school shooters. It's like again, everything leads back to mental health because that kid can be being bullied brutally.
Nobody wants to listen
somebody
to him.
who lived through that. It's like I had the idea. If I had access to a gun, I probably would have shot up my school too. And and that's me being fully honest. But the people I would target was all the people that did me wrong for no fucking reason. And that's probably what went through the minds on all these school shooters. They were getting bullied, they were being always harassed. The one place that you should be safe, where you should be okay, because that's where you spend a lot of your time.
Where people should listen to you, or people should actually be willing to be, hey, what can I help you with, Jimmy or Timmy or whatever the name is.
Yeah, it's like there is no like mental health help in schools, which there should be.
Yeah, because I know there's counselors, but counselors they sometimes do a shitty job, or sometimes they're in that position just because I could still make a decent living.
Yeah.
And screw it, I have to see kids every now and again. But I think every school at every age level should implement some kind of mental health resource that's available there, free at any time. And it shouldn't be something, again, that's viewed badly. And
way.
Again, there shouldn't be any negative connotations, because obviously, Cassandra or Tommy, they're going to the mental health. Oh, there must be something wrong with them. And now people start talking. Yeah,
they're crazy. Yeah, oh my God, put him in a straitjacket. Yeah. Why is he still here with us normal people?
And that just makes things worse. I mean, those people are fucked up, because right now on this TikTok post, some people are like, whoever supports Yuka should be dead, or should die.
Exactly.
It's like you're worse than this
you're
person.
As fucked up as the girl who fucking stabbed her boyfriend. It's like you're trying to tell people to go kill themselves or go off themselves. You're as bad as the other person is too.
Yeah, it's like what the hell is going through your little mind that you don't understand or grasp the concept that you're wishing death upon somebody, and you think you're a saint because you wish death on somebody? No, you're as fucked up as anybody else. And you should also get some mental help. You should get help.
Yeah.
Seek help. If you wish death on anybody, seek fucking help. You are as messed up as, yes, I'm going to say, as Jeffrey Dahmer. You are as messed up as that guy. The only thing I could say is that guy had the balls to do what...
Yeah, he had the balls to go out and kill someone.
Yeah.
But, he was probably also telling people to go off themselves as well. It's like, hey, you go fuck yourself. Hey,
I'm not defending the guy. I think it's pretty horrific.
Not defending him.
I think it's pretty horrific what he did. To be honest, if I had a chance to strike him...
I'm surprised he didn't get caught sooner, he was actually very wishy-washy about everything. He was just he was wanting to get caught,
Yeah.
But it's just this type of culture. It's either you're being canceled or you're one of the cancelees, because it's ridiculous on how you can just be on the internet and get offended about everything.
And you can be on the internet for 5 seconds and just, start harassing other people.
Exactly.
It's weird, because, like, obviously the internet, there's beauty to it. Obviously there's also darkness to it. But it's weird how I think people love getting bothered. They love it. They love feeling offended. Otherwise, why pick up the phone and open up Facebook? Why pick up your phone, open up TikTok if you're just going to get fucking offended, So... It's stupid. I think people they do love being offended. They do love getting offended. It brings them joy in a way. Obviously, right now I'm more of I'm not really offended by this post at all. It's more of just her idiocracy, her idiocy, and just she didn't do any fucking research on this. She
really
just
didn't.
Immediately just judged it by the cover.
She's popular. She's got like 30K followers or something like that, or 3K followers. I need to look at it again.
Yeah.
But she's got people that follow her, and her making this accusation against this girl. It's been years. She's probably living her life and trying to put this behind her, and people people bringing it back up and being like, oh, you're a murderer, when clearly she didn't murder someone. Please do your research on what the word murder means.
It was attempted murder, to be honest.
It was, but,
Fortunately, he's alive. Again, who knows? Maybe he's glad that he's alive. Maybe
he stated actually in an interview with what is it, Shanka Post, to share the horrible experience from his point of view, to clear up some rumors that... Shukan, sorry. I am stupid. But he was basically clearing up rumors of people, saying all these things, and he just kind of went on to say he doesn't have resentment over her.
Yeah, and adding to that, for example, if somebody was to... for Angie, in our situations, in our tough situations that happen, not knowing her, if they were to call her, a bitch or whatever, it's like, no, it's like, listen, it's like, she's going through her own mental health issues. Yeah, she's trying to seek help, but it's like, you can't judge her if you don't know her. So that's basically what he's doing. It's like, you can't judge her because you don't know her. She might actually be like a very nice, genuine person,
but she's going through something mentally, which she's probably could be suppressing it herself.
And probably she can't even control it.
Yeah.
She might not even be able to control it. It's out of her, control. Even if she did have support, it might be something that's out of her control.
Yeah, she just can't control it. She, it's very hard to tell, and it's very idiotic that people are so easily, be able to judge her without, actually knowing her full story. At the same time, it's like, stay out of her business. This happened a while ago. I get people that are so interested in like true crime and everything, but when there's certain stories like this that have been solved and, fortunately the person didn't die, he went through something traumatic and he's getting help for that. He's getting help for his PTSD and, his night terrors.
Because holy shit, he's like, oh fuck, man, I got stabbed.
Yeah,
on my abdominal region, I was stabbed.
Yeah, he's getting mental health for that, and hopefully, if I understand from the article, she is also getting mental health for what actually happened and what went through her mind through all of that. But it was just, I don't know, it's just people easily willing to judge someone, and it goes back to people just don't support mental health. People judge mental health. People
they see it as a bad thing.
We'll always see it as a bad thing.
It sucks. It's unfortunate. I think that's where, as a society, we will not advance if we can't help each other. And again, we're a lot of the time so quick to judge each other without getting to know one another.
It's like physical help is great, but the one thing that is like the most important is your mind. Yeah, and if you're not getting help for that, it's like, what's the point in getting help? That's
like basically the center hub of who you are, how you behave is in your head. Yeah. Sure, maybe your heart houses your spirit, but at the same time, like, whether you're like, you're a benevolent or malicious person, maybe that's where it is. But at the same time, no, obviously that's the hippocampus in your head, and that's where your emotions are processed. And I think it's something that I hope that society and just humans in general will be able to evolve from, where we will understand that, hey, the people that are having these glitches in their head, they need help. And no, we do not need to really ridicule them or to say that they're, oh, you're crazy, blah blah blah. It's like, no, we shouldn't say it. At the same time, I'm not saying that we should also like, you know, ban the word crazy. No, it's there for a reason. You know, I think yeah, people who are just like so easily prone to judge somebody else without getting to know them are just completely ignorant. And again, it's like you're not giving a chance to another human being that probably just wants to live life, you know, that wants to enjoy the same joys that you have. I really also hope that this gets out there. I really hope that this gets out there, you know, so people can listen soon rather than later, because it's something that's very, very important. I mean, we live, you know, through our decisions that we make. Obviously, if you know, people are constantly ridiculing us, or you know, people are like just saying, oh, you know, it's all in your head. Well, why are we going to seek help if we're just going to be made fun of, and that's just going to add to stress?
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and like for someone in that perspective is very hard, because you think of it as in like they're gonna think of you as a different person than who you actually are. You know, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me when Lalo tries to, you know, explain to his parents or something about what's going on with me. It's embarrassing because I feel like I'm getting judged, you know, for something that I have no control of, for something that's been beaten in my head, that's just there, and I have to live with it every single day. You know, it's the hardest thing ever. And going back to Yuka, in the interview that her boyfriend had was, in quotes, "I do not hold a grudge towards her." As he said, there was a reason for her to stab me. It was also thanks to her that I was able to achieve the sales I did in less than a year since becoming a host. So
basically, just to you know, kind of clarifying that, is, you know, I think she was like one of his main patrons before they actually, you know, became an item. So you know, he's thankful for his like financial successes because of her. At the same time, he's not saying he thanks her for stabbing him. No, that's not what he's saying. Okay, he's saying he's just thankful for, you know, what had happened before that event.
She was like his main contributor to like the hostess club.
Exactly. And so, you know, he's thankful for that part, not thankful for the stabbing. He's thankful he's alive, from what I can understand. And again, he's not holding any grudges. He's moving on. He's moving on with his life. And I think that's something that a lot of people that are focused on this in misinformation should also do. Move on with their lives and worry about themselves, because clearly even these people that are wishing death upon others, they need go seek mental health, buddy. You know, go seek mental health. You know, you really need it. And no, it's not a negative thing. It's a good thing. Go talk to somebody. There are some church pastors that are actually pretty good, you know, at giving good advice. Not all of them have good advice. Again, they are all humans, and they will say some stupid shit sometimes, or they might say some helpful things. So even then, I think just mental health, you know, help is I think the number one thing we should push all around the nation, because I think that's something that everybody suffers through. I also hate how you know, because of this, they're also blaming video games again. You know, with video game violence, you know, because of video game violence, they you know, people commit horrible acts of just violence. And I think that's also not true, because again, it goes back. It's that person that can't handle it, and they skew their own reality. Again, that's mental health. That's their mentality, not all there. Not being able to grasp the understanding of reality. So, again, it's not the video game's fault. It's not the fucking anime's fault. It's not, you know, any of this. You know, we all go through our own things in our own head. So, it's something that, you know, people just need to really understand, and, you know, go beyond the whole judgment of others. You know, it's like, you're nobody to judge anybody. You know, you need to fix your own shit first before you can, you know, help others. It's not about judging others. It's about helping others. Because, trust me, if I were to, you know, judge you, that would have been fucking worse. I don't think that would have been any help at all.
Yeah.
It's more of like a help. I need to help you. What way can I help you? What can I do for you? Sometimes, in our relationship, I know there was times where she needed space, and I didn't know what that meant. I was trying to help her. Say, hey, I'm here for you. But she was telling me, hey, I need space, and I didn't get that. In a way, I thought. With the way I perceived it, I thought she was pushing me away, and I'm like, well, why is she pushing me away? No, it was the fact that she just needed some space to breathe. It's kind of like when somebody's down and they're out of breath. It's like when people just rush them, you're just taking all the oxygen away from them. So it's like you need to definitely sometimes being in solitude is a good thing. I'm not saying like like imprisonment. I'm not saying like in a foam room. I'm just saying having just time up for yourself, being able to breathe. Kind of process your thinking is good for people.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you finally decide to seek that help, then that's obviously when you go ask for help from somebody else. But otherwise, there's also nothing wrong with having some time alone, just to be able to breathe, think, meditate. Even for some people, prayer helps them, and that's just being able to pray the right way is a good thing. But
there's also no right or wrong way to
pray. There's no wrong or right way to pray. You don't need to have your eyes closed. You actually also can pray within your head. To be honest, you can be driving and just praying. You don't need to like actually physically get down on your knees. I think that's a
it's an old misconception.
Yeah, it's just a misconception. You don't need it. I think that's like something that was developed by the Catholics.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not trying to judge just anybody. I'm just telling you, it's like there is no wrong or right way of praying. There's just your own way. Though I'd say when it comes to like with prayer, it's something that actually has to come from your heart. It actually because you want to do it, not because somebody's forcing you to do it. So that helps people as well. To get beyond their struggles. No, God's not going to resolve your answers. That is if you believe in a God. They're not going to resolve your answers. If anything, the way I've seen it always is doors are going to be open, and it's your choice to walk through that door or not. So again, it just goes back to if you want to seek help, you'll seek help. If you don't, you don't, and you're just going to deteriorate on yourself. So it's definitely up to the individual to move on from negativities. It's definitely also not in the individual's control, because when there's people ridiculing them, or when there's people making fun of them, or being like, why does this person act this way, so on and so forth, then obviously it's like, why are you going to seek help? So if somebody's ridiculing you for seeking help, why are you going to want to seek help? Well, I was going to go seek help yesterday, but now my parents are saying, oh, it's all in your head. Well, I guess it's all in my head, then I'm not going to go seek help anymore. And that's fucked up, Instead of doing that, you should really understand that there are issues with people's mental health, and that's a fucking real thing. It's real. It's not fake. People aren't making it up. It's completely real. I know some people have said, like psychedelics work, but yes, again, if you're going through depression, psychedelics will probably make it worse, to be honest. Those things are something that you have to usually take when you're like in a sober mind, when you're not be depressed, because that honestly might cause you to harm yourself even more. Even with CBDs and marijuana, not everybody should take it. Some people, it will mess them up even more. And again, if you're depressed and you're going to be taking it, it might even make you more depressed. Again, you do your own research. I think you should do your own research and just go seek mental help.
And then closing, I guess, with the Yuka stuff. At the bottom of the article that we will link in the description, Yuka has been charged with attempted murder of blank, we're not going to say his name, and is currently in custody awaiting for her court date. Even though there hasn't been a new update since last year, I suppose we'll have to wait and see the new development surface. As from what my research has taken me is that she's been in custody, but from there on, Japan, I guess, hasn't really updated people due to like privacy and stuff. So, I mean, you can probably do your own digging and figure it out if there was a conviction or something like that. But From what I could find is that she was convicted for attempted murder, and she is getting help for what happened. As for the guy, I mean, I think he's getting help too from the interview that he had. This article is a year long, is a year ago, because obviously she started resurfacing, and again resurfacing now once again through TikTok, because people just want to say that she's the real life Yandere. By definition, yes, she is technically is, because she did something out of, through emotion, strong emotions that she had towards her boyfriend. So if you go by definition, yes.
Yeah, but she's not an imitation, or she's not she's not following.
She's not trying to follow
the video
something.
game simulator.
Yeah,
she's not doing that. And people that want to believe that, I guess, to be honest, you can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe.
Yeah, we're not here to judge your opinion.
Yeah, if you think a piece of cheese is your god, then so be it. That's up to you. If you think your dog is your master, sure, go ahead. I personally don't care.
Yeah.
But again, I think if anything, people should really leave this alone, especially the ones that are putting out false information out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you have sober information, and things have
if you have new information,
new developments
about what's going on, then cool. Thanks for updating us. But just leave this poor girl alone, and the guy
don't harass them.
Yeah,
don't harass them, because you're basically just as bad as anybody else.
Yeah, you go onto Yuka's old TikTok account, and you can see in her videos that she's had since 2019, before the incident happened. There's people on there that are just commenting like a few hours ago and being like, oh, if you worship her, you're sick in the mind, or don't support her. She killed her boyfriend.
Which
again,
she didn't.
False information.
She did do attempted
people
murder.
should really stop being bullies, or stop being what's it called, heroes or whatever.
Yeah, quote unquote heroes. To be quite honest, if you're also doing this harassment to her and or to him, you're just as bad as any piece of shit out there. Again, the only difference I see in humanity is you're either an asshole person or you're not. And if you're a bully, you're probably an asshole person.
Yeah.
Yes, in a way, you are kind of good and bad to society, because sometimes really awesome people come out of being bullied, but there's also people that end up suicide because of bullying. Because they get bullied. So in a way, there is a balance to life. So I wouldn't say you're not necessary in life, but just if you can, stop doing that. Stop harassing people. Stop being bullies.
The least that TikTok can do is either, take her old account off, just so that people stop harassing her, if she can even have access to it.
Who knows?
She probably doesn't even have
access to it. Maybe she doesn't even have access to it anymore.
Yeah. But, seriously, people, fucking grow up. This happened a while ago. It's all under control. It's not like she's going mass murdering her boyfriends or anything. It's all under control.
As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know.
As far as we know. So, yeah, I think this, if anything, to be honest, I'd say this Caucasian lady that's putting false information out there, because what she's doing is slander. She's
slandering Yuka's name,
defaming somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have stepped up, and I've reported all of her videos about Yuka. I'm not trying to defend Yuka either.
No,
but from a personal aspect, I can kind of understand if she was going through something like that. I can understand.
Again,
it's just hard. But seriously, people, bullying her, spreading false information about her, it's 3 simple clicks. Fucking just Googling her name, Yuka, just her first name, you get everything you want. If you really want to see the graphic images of it too, they're there.
Yeah.
It's all there. All the information's online.
No, we're not fans of Yuka. No, we're not out there supporting Yuka. No, we're not. We're not going to tattoo her name on us. No, we're not oh yeah, she's the actual Yandere. No, we're just trying to speak some truth out here. We're just trying to hopefully open up that envelope and get the real information out there.
Yeah, because it seems like her name is trending again, and like I said, I heard about the story when it happened, just through, Twitter and stuff like that. Like, I heard about it, and it was pretty crazy. I never followed a story or anything, and, this morning I woke up to see that TikTok on my For You page, and I'm just like, this lady has all this information wrong. And the fact that I tried to correct her,
people are gonna believe her.
Yeah, the fact that I tried to correct her, she tried deleting my comment, which is kind of like
offended.
Yeah, and they're luckily there's people on the comment section, stepping up and being like, half of the stuff you're saying is false, very false. But again, those people that are speaking up are getting bullied because they're trying to make them seem like, we're defending Yuka and stuff like that, which is completely just stupid.
You know what makes me excited is I'm glad people are actually speaking up for truth, because, at the same time, that's personally all I want in life. It's like, I do want to seek truth. And if you seek truth, it will find you. Like, even with Gina Carano from, being fired from Lucasfilm, and being disassociated with Disney, even she was basically in a way bullied, and there was people trying to defame her, and because she put out some tweets that were perceived to be negative things. And again, this misinformation, people are very emotional sometimes, and again, even those people that were trying to get with the cancel culture of with Gina Carano, they were fucked up because they weren't getting all the information right. They were just going off of emotion, didn't side with what their belief system is, didn't side with their ideology. And same with this, just because it doesn't go about somebody's ideology because they don't like anime, maybe because they don't like Asians, maybe because they don't like the otaku culture. They're basically trying to harass Yuka as well. They're trying to cancel her as well, and just because it doesn't side with their ideologies. So again, I think people should, and truth does offend people a lot, which is kind of funny. I know it did happen with you and me, where I told you some truths and you were kind of offended by it.
Yeah.
And sure, I've also been offended by some truths as well. I'm like, no, really?
Like what?
And then I can't think of an example.
Like what? Give me an example. I need time, date, and exactly when I said it.
Anyways, but I think people just need to do a little bit more research. And
don't believe everything you see online.
Definitely don't.
Especially TikTok.
TikTok spreads a shit ton of
false
lies.
information.
Yeah, exactly. They're definitely number one for a lot of false information.
Since TikTok is like the number one app right now that every single kid sees, please don't take everything that you see with a grain of salt.
Yes.
That's all we can really say. And again, we're not fans of Yuka. We're not supporting Yuka for stabbing her boyfriend. No, we just wanted to reassure people that, this is the real information. And there's plenty of articles that you can read
that have real information as well.
And we'll try to, link as many as we can on the description.
Don't be fucking lazy
videos.
about it,
Again, all you have to do is just Google her name, Yuka, and you get all of it. We're not pulling anything out of our asses some people are.
Also be careful, there is false information out there on the internet, even if you do research right.
And also warning, in the images you will see some graphic images of Yuka sitting there with her boyfriend bleeding out.
So basically, once you go online and look at these things for yourself, your discretion is advised. It's not for the faint of heart. Just be careful. I mean, by the way, you probably look at best score anyway, so
I look at best score, yeah.
So
it's actually a very good informational news site for gory stuff. I am usually kept up with what's happening in Mexico about the cartel and stuff.
Oh, I really do dislike those people.
Mm-hmm.
I in a future podcast we'll talk about it more in depth, but I think if Mexico was able to Mexican citizens were able to bear arms like they did back in the time of Pancho Villa, I think the Mexican citizens would really be able to take control of the cartels, and the cartels would not exist. And
especially since the police over there in Mexico work for the cartel now. About 80% of them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right now the cartel and the political people in Mexico are married with each other and they're going to sleep in the same bed with each other. So obviously, money does run a lot of people's lives. And
it goes for any country.
Country, yeah.
In Africa, there's cartels over there too, and it's like they run a lot of shit.
No, not Mexican cartels. Not Mexican cartels. They're
different
their own
ones.
things.
Yeah.
They're usually called militias or guerrilla, guerrilla factions.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
my bad. I used the wrong word.
No, because people were like, "Wait, Mexicans are over there."
Don't fact check me.
Mexicans are in Africa. Well, who knows? Maybe they probably are.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Anyways, that's a whole separate thing. But again, it just goes back to mental health. People are pretty. They can be messed up for sure. Human beings are just. It's just in our nature sometimes to be destructive and to be just the chaos runs through our bloodstreams just as much as benevolence runs through our bloodstreams as well. It's up to your own individual choice. What side you want to live on. Whether you want to be helpful to your community or kill your community. So it's totally up to the individual. It's also up to the individual if they want to seek help. It's up to the individual if they want to listen to people giving them false information. It's up to the individual to seek out truthful, actual.
If our video was if our video was like a minute long and basically just kind of bulletproofed all the information of Yuka,
we couldn't even say anything. So that's why I think it's also ridiculous. Where these people are believing this Caucasian chick on TikTok, and she's putting false information on there, and just because I think people see a Japanese woman and they also just see, and again, crime or assault or murder, they're just immediately like, oh, I need it in my life. Oh my goodness, it's fucking stupid. Again, just do your own research anytime you look at the TikToker, because a lot of these people are just speaking out of their asshole. So do your own damn information anytime you watch something or you think you believe something on TikTok. Do your own goddamn information, research. Get the facts straight. Don't believe lies. But then again, I think people love believing in lies just because sometimes they say the fantasy that you would want to believe in or whatever. Again, it's all based on perspective. It's all perspective. But I think as far as this
at the same time, also
Yuka Takaoka situation. Go ahead, Siri.
I was just gonna say, at the same time, don't fantasize people like that. That's like I get you do you you do you, but as in my favorite YouTuber Bailey Sarian would say, damn it, I forgot what she says. Cut it out.
No, it's sorry. Anyways,
she says pick better. What was it? Idols.
I don't remember.
Pick better idols. There you go. That's what she says.
Yeah.
But yeah, just with the whole fantasizing, just any murder and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. There's fan clubs on Facebook for certain murderers. It just gets
and it's all these quote unquote normal people who love these murders. It's just again, those people are even fucking demented, but they just they put on a different persona.
Yeah.
They don't. It's funny, but yeah. Likewise, again, if that's if that turns you on, well, again, you do you. You live your own life. But again, I think something that I want to make very clear in all the podcasts is, as long as you're not fucking hurting somebody else or you're not hurting yourself, then whatever. As long as you're not an asshole to the community around you, then good. But
also, I'm prepared for any bully who's gonna comment on this and be like, "Oh, you idolize Yuka. Come at me. I'm ready. I'm ready."
We've already said no. Honestly, I could care less about this person. I could also care less about this Caucasian chick on TikTok. I mean,
I just want her to realize that she's spreading false information.
Yeah.
That's all
I think if anything, if she can own up to it, it's oh shit, you know what, guys?
And she makes a follow-up video.
I put out false information. My bad. I didn't realize I didn't do my research. And now that I did it, I'm okay. I'm
because all she's creating is this little whirlwind of hatred towards Yuka, and half of these people are just believing what she posted on TikTok,
and they're not doing any.
They're not going to do any research because all they need to see is the first video that they see, which is this girl. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not going to put her name or anything out there. I'm pretty much
think you'll find it pretty easily.
You'll find it pretty easily. But yeah, it's just all she's doing is just creating a whirlwind of hatred towards Yuka, and this girl probably doesn't even fucking deserve it. She did something horrible. She's getting help for it. Her boyfriend's getting help for it. They're probably all just trying to live their lives. Just fucking leave it alone, you know? Just leave it alone.
Yeah, like, I mean, even for our own relationship, like, if there was a TV show about us, or like just clips about, the more horrific moments in our life, I think for the most part people would agree it's like, holy crap, that's freaking crazy. And we've been able to develop ourselves as human beings, and like you said earlier, you sought out help. You finally got help after all these misconceptions of these places will lock you up. After those misconceptions kind of flew by your mind. It
was that one time I attempted, and I went to the doctor. It was that nurse. There was I really hope I can find her name or something and like send her some flowers and a thank you card, because if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have found help, because she opened my eyes, and she was the first person to give me a hug and tell me that I will be okay and my daughter will be okay and nobody's going to take her away from me. That nurse deserves everything, because she was the one who actually was there. Oh
man, and like even this moment that happened last year in May, where we did have to call the police. There's this officer.
It was the same moment.
It was the same moment. Well, anyways, that same day when we called that officer, he was amazing. He was amazing. He was very loving, and he was very just kind and passionate, and I was blown away. I wish I got his name, because I really didn't want to send him a thank you letter, because I'm like, wow, I did not think there was going to be any officers like yourself. I really did not expect someone like you to have shown up. Get this call, and I was really glad that he was the one that got the call and like was able to show up here, and he really helped us out. I actually looking through my phone, I still have a recording of the moment, but I don't think I'm gonna put that up. That's because, to be honest, it is kind of like the audio is kind of sensitive and is kind of graphic. But anyways, yeah,
we will do a podcast talking more in depth into mental health and a lot of stuff that I've been through.
Exactly. If you're willing to open up on certain things and you're okay with sharing,
just as long as my story is able to help others.
Yeah, exactly.
There might be a lot of people out there who still is just trying to deal with day-to-day basis. And honestly, I was in your shoes. I understand. I will be your person. If you need someone to talk to, I will link my socials, and I'm on my phone 24/7.
Yeah, trust me. Again, once you have her as a friend, you really do have a friend. Just again, like I think I hate people who are fake, because they say they'll be there for you all the time, and they really aren't when you really need it. When you really need it, even for me, like I've had certain people in my life that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm always gonna be your brother no matter what. And then you call them up, it's like, hey man, I can't talk right now. Like please, leave me alone. Or they don't even answer their phone. There are some of my friends that I call and they answer the phone. Hey, what's up, man? Is everything good? I'm like, oh shit, you fucking picked up. I'm like, thank you. I've actually told them that too over the phone. I'm like, wow, thank you, man. Like, I'm so surprised that I can always count on you picking up the phone. And like, yeah, of course. And it's like, why not? We're friends. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. That's genuine. That's a beautiful, genuine moment.
And again, like, I'll be there if you need just to like rant. You never need to go to detail or anything. If you just need to just let out, a bunch of stuff in your head, I'm fucking there to listen, because I never had that growing up. I never had that, until recently. And you have no idea how much that helps. It really does help. It's like a weight being lifted off your back.
Yeah.
So again, I will link my socials, and I'm on my phone 24/7. Literally 24/7.
Yeah. Again, I think it's definitely a helpful thing to have a real genuine friend, because when you have people that are just fake around you, it doesn't help. It makes things worse.
Damages
It makes things worse because it makes you not want to seek friends anymore because you're like, well, these people said that they were my friends, but they really weren't. So why am I going to make new friends just to be hurt again? You know, you make attachments, you make a bunch of new attachments, and then all of a sudden, they're really not there for you, and they just, you know, block you or forget about you, and they really never cared about you to begin with, and that also makes it worse for people. I know it made it really bad for you because you all were struggled on making new friends because you're like, well, they're just gonna leave me.
I would always get ditched. You know, I always needed that like person to just be like, hey, can we just like hang out, just walk around or something? Everybody was always surprisingly busy when I needed them. Right. So it could be I had bad timing, but at the same time, you know, I can't really time what happens in my mind.
Yeah, same here. Same with me. Like once you make a friend of me, you'll definitely have a friend, unless you betray my trust. Well, at that point, well clearly, go fuck yourself. But for the most part, once you make a friend with me, you definitely have a friend for life. And
you'll never get rid of me.
To be honest, even if you screw me over, sometimes I will reach out again and say, hey, what happened, you know? And it's weird because I do know people personally that also, they actually struggle because of, you know, their cultural background, actually talking about things. Because again, right now, in a lot of cultures, depression is seen like something that's not real. You know, when it comes to mental health issues, a lot of cultures, they do see it as, oh, you're just pretending, or you're just trying to seek attention. You know, this is your way of, you know, trying to, again, just get attention. So it's really unfortunate that a lot of societies think that way, and, you know, just kind of push those people aside. I mean, in the homeless community, there's also a lot of people that suffer, like, legitimately suffer from mental health issues. You know, it could have been brought about with parental figures abusing of them. It could have been brought about, you know, many other things, and then, you know, there was never any help for them. Or, you know, it could have been through drug abuse, or, you know, or they thought maybe using a certain drug might have helped them, but it made things worse. Again, you know, there's a lack of education when it comes to mental health. Mm-hmm. Then I think there should be more taught about it, you know, throughout every year in school.
It should be more of a funded thing. Yeah. You know, like even in schools, like, fuck football, fuck, like, you know, certain sports, you know, like, you know, there's certain schools that get funded for, like, full-on football tuitions and all that shit, like, equipment and everything. You know, you always get the new shiny stuff when it comes to, like, football. Sorry, I'm saying football a lot, but that's, you know, in my experience, that school would. But if they were to fund a little bit of half of that amount to having, like...
Just half of it. Just literally just half of it.
You know, a psychiatrist, like a full-on psychiatrist at schools... You don't know how much that would help so many people.
And again, if it were to be viewed as a more positive thing, because I think right now, and it's probably going to stay like this for a very long time, it's still viewed as a very negative thing to seek mental health help, you know, to seek help.
And there's plenty of doctors out there they're trying to help. Mm-hmm. But there's not that funding for it. There's not that much attention to being like, well, there's also, we should focus on mental health.
There's also people that, again, they'll make fun of you, or they're like, oh, you know, they'll talk behind your back and like, oh, that's just fucking crazy, you know? Yeah. And that makes it worse. I think those people are pretty shitty. They're not helping the community at all. I think those are fake people, to be honest. Those are fucking fake, you know, piece of shit people that, you know, they'll talk behind your back. Or, you know, maybe they even say it towards you. It's like, oh, you're a fucking crazy bitch or whatever. It's like, no, what the fuck? You just made things worse.
If anything, you know what? If someone tells you that, fucking embrace it and be like, yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm unique. Embrace it. Okay? If someone tries to fucking downgrade you by calling you a crazy bitch or whatever, just embrace it and walk away. Yeah. Because that would catch them more off guard than you getting hurt. Because that's all they want to do is hurt you more.
Yeah, and it's crazy how, like, you know, because these people are so fake, they're also surprisingly good at convincing other people that they're the innocent ones. Yeah, which is stupid, and you see it in movies all the time. You see it in a lot of these teenage dramas on Netflix where, like, you know, the bully will pretend to be the victim, and it's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? It's like, are you serious? Are you people fucking blind or what's going on? Just because this person can play their narrative in the right way, it's frustrating, to be honest. It's frustrating how again, people love to believe the lies. They would rather believe the lies than the truth. And maybe they do that because, oh, that person doesn't believe in my religion, or that person doesn't, like, view my political opinions. It's like, again, fuck the politics, fuck the religion. If, again, there's religious wars. It's like, what the hell is the point then? I thought religion was to be, something good.
Something good and
like,
positive.
yeah, exactly. If there's religious wars, then fuck religion. Who the fuck cares? There's political wars, then fuck politics. There's no point. I thought, politics was to be more of a positive thing. It's like, what the hell? I think people that are out of politics and out of religion are probably at a better standpoint. I'm not an atheist. I actually also don't, I don't side with atheists because I think some atheists are pretty fucking retarded, to be honest. I think they're pretty stupid at times, and some of those atheists need some mental health help.
And I'm going to set this out there, but the only God I believe in is Arceus, okay? You can give me Korean Jesus and all that stuff, and cool, they're there, but my God is Arceus, and if you don't know who that is, get educated. It's a Pokemon.
And to be completely frank, if Arceus makes you a better person to your community, then so be it. To be honest, so be it. If that's really what makes you a better person in this world, and actually, because again, who knows what the true God is? I do have another talk with one of my friends that we kind of briefly mentioned God, and again, I think truthfully that is something that's just all around us. So the atoms, the molecules that even make up the atoms. They're not molecules. Sorry, I misspoke. The quarks. Oh, that's even bigger.
Cell.
No, that's a lot bigger than an atom. Anyways, even all the way down to the quarks. Maybe that is all around us. I do have a religious background. But that's just my story on my life. That's that's just how I grew up. But I wouldn't even say I'm agnostic. I wouldn't even
is that a type of drink?
It's funny because in Hot Fuzz it's like, wait, is that a topical cream?
Oh, it sounds like a drink.
Yeah. So again, I just really don't like those labels. It's not that I'm that kind of person. Oh, I just don't like labels. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just like,
no, he's that type of person.
I don't see the point in it. You get these isms and all that in life, and you just start creating sides, and you start creating factions, and you start basically pitting people against each other. Again, just live your life. Be a community that supports one another, and don't judge people. I think first and foremost, don't judge other people's lives.
Yeah.
Don't judge other people's ideologies. Again, unless they're ideologies that hurt and harm people and harm themselves.
I understand.
That's a bad part.
I believe that everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and sure, you could take that with however you freaking want. But if you're bullying someone for their opinion or for their way of life, then you're a shitty fucking person.
Yeah, you are.
It's like,
and if you're fake with it, you pretend that you didn't do anything. You're still a piece of shit regardless.
Yeah, because sorry,
there's a lot of distraction right now. Oh, my goodness,
our cat's near the mic right now.
Freaking.
But seriously, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody can say what they want because it's them. Okay. If you have a different opinion, cool. What happened to if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Angie, but it hurts my ideology. Hurts the way I
come
believe.
on, we learned that in kindergarten. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And that's something that people should really continue to learn because as soon as you get a certain age, it seems like all that gets thrown out into the trash.
Which is confusing to me because it's so confusing how it's so confusing. Oh my goodness. Just play the Switch. Hold on. I told you what we were doing, baby. I told you. Anyways, we have a very small apartment, so we kind of share the same space with we basically have a studio, anyways. But
oh, here he goes again.
Oh man,
I think Leon's trying
distractions.
to talk.
Yeah, Leon, do you want to say something? Do you want to give a little purr? No. Did you want to give a little purr to the people? Anyways,
okay.
It's actually I'm always just confused that people forget that they had a childhood, or people again. I think we for the most part we are a society or just a species that just constantly lives through amnesia. I think we always want to forget, or we just forget in general. But I still remember my childhood very, very clearly. I still remember like so many, just occurrences.
Obviously,
good and bad.
Yeah, we'll probably get into more in detail, but my memory is very vivid.
Yeah, very vivid. Exactly.
The thing is, it's like it's vivid because of like all the trauma I succeeded. But that's obviously we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.
But yeah, it's like super vivid. I can remember like what I fucking ate.
And I'm 27. I'm 27. I know a lot of people my age that they don't remember anything of their childhood, which I'm just like, really? How?
I can remember all my birthdays.
Yeah, me too.
Because they were sad.
Oh my goodness. Well, mine started off sad too, because I thought nobody was coming to my birthday party. But again, it's they just work on a Mexican time clock. They always run late.
No.
They always run late.
Mine just never showed up.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I had like a few birthdays when I was like very little that I do remember, obviously.
Probably in California.
Yeah.
But because you guys have like no family up here at all.
No, we have like absolutely no family up here.
So I would like here we have a lot of families.
Yeah,
so.
you just anywhere you have a bunch of family.
Yeah, we do.
I think the only family that we have is in California, and that's my aunt. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Everybody else is back in Mexico.
Mexico.
If you didn't get it, I'm an alien. Yes, an alien.
Since society has labeled Mexicans as aliens,
yeah, I'm an alien. I'm an extraterrestrial.
She just embraces it. That's basically what she's trying to say. She embraces the fact that since American culture has decided that Mexicans are only Mexicans too, not Canadians, right? Because Canadians are Caucasian.
Not Canadians.
So since Canadians are Caucasian, they're fine. But because a Mexican is brown.
Oh, but if you're Puerto Rican or any other type of Latin, then you're just Latin American.
Yeah. But if you're Mexican, you're a fucking alien.
You're an alien. Yeah.
Which is fucked up. But hey, you know what? Screw it. I think that's pretty cool.
I'm an extraterrestrial, guys.
Why not? Hell yeah. So, I think that's really cool.
Maybe it makes sense why I'm into like hentai.
Tentacle porn. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess that'll do it for this podcast. And we'll go more in depth on certain situations on their own separate podcasts. I hope in the future,
you're gonna talk now?
in the very near future, to create a Patreon for anybody wanting to support us. Just because I would love to do this as a full-time thing, but as of now, I think I am gonna have to focus a little bit less on the podcast, just because because COVID is kind of becoming something that is being resolved little by little. Finally, restaurants are opening up a bit more, and they're actually getting dine-in. So I think I am going to be going back to work very, very soon, hopefully.
Which is kind of dumb because, they were already doing dine-in outside.
Yeah, I know.
With the tents.
Right. So I think, I would love to do this full-time. I definitely had to take advantage of it, the little time that I could. I've been doing it pretty consistently during February just because it's been really cold. We've, kind of been stuck inside, because of the snow and because, again, places were shut down and then reopened, shut down, reopened. Anyways, I'll create a Patreon soon, and hopefully we were thinking of actually making some product, merchandise, and hopefully we can come up with a great design and do that out as well. But anyways, I'd definitely love just right now, currently, if you can support just by listening, liking, hitting that like button.
Please leave a comment.
And anything. Leave a comment. Yeah, leave a comment as well. Again, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. I actually don't care, even if you do have something negative to say. That's fine. Again, for the first and foremost thing, go fuck yourself. To be honest, again, it's like you're all I can say is you're probably just a bully, and again, you're not, helping humanity, nor society, nor the village. So, we'll put a bunch of the links of the things that we've talked about in the description. Again, I hope anybody who's suffering right now, hopefully they have a support system and hopefully they get some help. But other than that, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say that at the end of this, we'll leave that little small minute clip of that TikTok of the lady talking, so you guys can see it. I'll also link anything about the story of Yuka. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just check the description below.
Yeah. Again, hit that like button, hit that bell just so you can stay notified. We'll continue talking about things that I think I think that should be talked about a bit more. There should be more truths out there about things. There should be less conflict with humans just in general. But even then, again, that's a whole other story. But yeah. So good night, buenas noches, guten Nacht.
Sayonara.
Arigato gozaimasu. And yeah, bye bye.
So this is her right here, right? Her name is Yuka Takaoka, and so yes, she does have a TikTok account on here basically, and last time she posted was 2019. I'm gonna leave this picture up because the other pictures are very graphic. If you want to look at them, go Google them. So what happened was she basically stalked this guy she liked, cut him open, and nearly killed him. Yes, he lived. This happened in summer of 2019, and she got off scot-free because she was cute. And yes, people do worship her, and I don't understand the reason why. And there's fan art like this that you can find by Googling her name. And it's very disturbing. Her videos are still up on her TikTok channel that you can go and see. I tagged her TikTok account in my last video.